Friends, how are you? I hope you all are fine. Today we will start with article number 2 of Federal Decree Law number 47 of 2022. In last video we have seen about the definitions given under article 1 of this law. Okay, chapter 2, imposition of corporate tax and applicable rates. Article 2, imposition of corporate tax. Corporate tax shall be imposed on the taxable income at the rate determined under this decree law and payable to the authority FTA under decree law and the tax procedures law. Okay, this is article 2 is very simple. Article 3, corporate tax rates. Corporate tax rates shall be article number 2 they mention rate determined under this decree law. The rate is going to be determined here under article 3. Under article 3, corporate tax shall be imposed on the taxable income. Multiple times they are talking about taxable income at the following rates: 0% on the portion of the taxable income not exceeding the amount specified in the decision issued by the cabinet decision at the suggestion of the minister. This is specified at 375,000. After this taxable income, there will be 0% tax. Above than this income, 9% on the taxable income that exceeds the amount specified in the decision issued by the cabinet at the suggestion of the ministers. Point number 2, corporate tax shall be imposed on the qualifying free zones at the following rate: 0% on the qualifying income if it is more than 375,000. Qualifying income, 0% tax will be imposed. Okay, 9% on taxable income that is not qualifying income under article 18. Under article 18 we will see later on decree law and any decision issued by the cabinet at the suggestion of the minister in respect thereof. Comes to the article 4, chapter 3, exempt person. Some persons they have exempted under the corporate tax under article 4. Let's have a look. The following persons shall be exempt in the corporate tax: government entity, government controlled entity, a person engaged in the extraction business. Article 7, extraction business. In extraction business in Emirates level, there is a special tax imposed by the all Emirates on their extraction businesses running in their Emirates. Point D, a person engages non-extraction business, natural resources business. Non-extraction natural resources business, anything which is not covering here mentioned under article 8, on that will also be exempt. A qualifying public benefit entity, article 9. Qualifying investment fund, article 10, mentioned under article 10. A public pension or social security fund or a private pension or social security fund that is subject to the regularity should be there, oversight of the competent authority in the state. Competent authority should be oversight there, and that meets any other conditions that may be prescribed by the ministers. Public pension fund, social security fund, private pension, social security fund, all will be exempted if subject to the regulatory oversight of the competent authority in the state and any other condition mentioned by them. Point number H, a juridical person incorporated in the state that is wholly owned or controlled by exempt person. Specified in A, B, F, G of clause 1 of this article. A is government entity, B is government control entity, F is qualifying investment fund, this is a pension fund. This one qualifying investment fund. First one is a government entity, second one is government control entity. If and conducts any of the following: undertakes part or whole of the activity of the exempt person doing the exempt person work is engaged exclusively in holding assets or investment funds for the benefit of the exempt person, just holding the funds, only carrying out activities that are ancillary activities, those carried out by exempt person. Only 4 person are covered here. 4. Okay, these 4 person only they covering. Point number I, any other person as may be determined in a decision issued by cabinet at the suggestion of the ministers. They can further add any exempt person. A person under paragraph A, B, C, D. A is for government entity. Government entity. B is for government controlled entity. C is extraction business. D is non-extraction, natural resources business. If a person under paragraph A, B, C, D, government entity, government control entity, extraction business, non-extraction business of clause 1 of this article, that is a taxable person insofar as it relates to any business or business activity under article 5, 6, 7, 8 of this decree respectively, shall be treated as an exempt person for the purpose of article 26, 27, 38, 40. All these 4 businesses is a taxable person insofar will be treated as a taxable person insofar as it relates to the business activity under article 5, 6, 7, 8. For all those article it will be treated as a taxable person. This shall be exempt person will be treated under article 26. For this article they will be treated as an exempt person. For this article they will be treated as a taxable person. Okay, we will see all those articles later on. Person specified in paragraph F, G, H and I of clause 1 of this article as applicable. F is for qualifying investment fund. H is for pension fund. H is for individual person, corporate, wholly controlled person, any entity helping A, B, F, G. I is for any other of this article as applicable are required to apply to the authority to exempt. They have to apply to the exempt from the corporate tax in the form and the manner F, G, H, I. F, G, H and I. They have to apply for the exemption. No, not an automatic exemption they will get. They have to apply for the exemption. The exemption from the corporate tax under paragraph F, G, H, I of clause 1 of this article as application shall be effective from the beginning of the tax period specified in the application. They will apply and they will get a exemption letter from the FTA. From that day they will be treated as a exempt. FZHI. Again, please remember qualified investment fund F. G is for pension fund. H is for any other person helping A, B, F, G, and I is as described by the cabinet. Point number 5. In the event that exempt person fail to meet any of the condition under the relevant provision of this decree law at any particular time, during a tax period, such person shall be ceased to be exempt person for the purpose of this decree law from the beginning. We have to take care. From the beginning they mention. Okay, if they violate any conditions specified under this, any condition under this relevant provision of the decree law, they will be treated as a taxable from the beginning of the tax period. Very important. For the purpose of clause 5 of this article, the minister may prescribe the condition. Clause 5. This one. Okay, clause 5. This article, the minister may prescribe the condition under which a person may continue to be a exempt person. The condition under which a person may be continued to be exempt person or ceases to be an exempt person from the different date in any of the following instances. Failure to meet the condition is a result of liquidation, termination of the person. Failure to meet the condition of a temporary nature and will be promptly rectified, and appropriate procedures are to be in the place to monitor the compliance with the relevant condition of this decree law. They have given some relaxation here under clause 6. They are saying if we have, while anyone is violated the condition of the exempt person, will be treated as a taxable person from the beginning of the tax period, but we are giving some relaxation to the exempt person if in these two cases. The minister may prescribe the condition. Minister may prescribe the condition under which the person may be continued to be exempt person, procedures to be the exempt. If he failure to meet the condition is a result of liquidation or termination of the person or temporary nature. Any other instances as may be prescribed by the minister. Article 5. Government entity. Who are the government entity? We have references here for the Article 5 as well. Here TP Article 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, they will be treated as a taxable person for this purpose. Government entity. The government entity shall be exempt from the corporate tax, and the provisions of this decree law shall not apply to it. Notwithstanding clause 1 of this article, the government entity shall be subject to the provision of decree law if it conducts a business or business activity under a license issued by the licensing authority. If government entity is doing any kind of business under license issued by any licensing authority, it will be treated as a taxable person. Any business or business activity conducted by the government entity under a license issued by a licensing authority shall be treated as a independent business, and the government entity shall keep financial statement for this business separately from the government entity's other activities. The government entity shall calculate the taxable income for its business or taxable activity in clause 2 of this article independently for the each tax period in accordance with the provision of this decree law. The government entity shall calculate the taxable income. They should calculate the taxable income. Transaction between business or business activity specified under clause 2 of this article, any other business of the government entity shall be considered related party transaction subject to the provisions of article 34. Transfer pricing can be applicable. Transaction between business activity specified under clause 2 of other activity of the business activity shall be considered. A government entity may apply to the authority for all its business or business activity to be treated as a single taxable person for the purpose of decree law subject to the meeting the condition. Government entity can apply to the authority to treat their all business as a single taxable person. Article 6 is about government control entity. Article 5 was about government entity. Article 6 was about government control entity. A government control entity shall be exempt from corporate tax, and the provisions of the decree law shall not apply to it. Notwithstanding clause 1 of this article, government entity shall be subject to the provision of this decree law if conducts a business or business activity that is not a mandated activities. Government mandated activities, government has some activities they are mandated to do it, like printing a currency notes, any government related activities. Beyond that, if they are doing something, then they will be subject to the corporate tax. Any business or business activity conducted by the government control entity that is not a mandated activity shall be treated as an independent business. And the government control entity shall keep financial statement for this business separately from its mandated activities. Government control entity has to keep financial statement separately for this business. Government control entity shall calculate the taxable income for its business or business activity that is not a mandated activity independently for each tax period in accordance with the provision of decree law. Not mandatory activities. Transaction between the business or business activity specified in clause 2 of this article and the mandatory activity, non-mandatory activity and mandatory activity, if they are doing business activities, shall be considered as a related party transaction under Article 34. Transfer pricing rules can be applicable. If government controlled entities are doing business with mandatory activities and non-mandatory activities, then it will be treated as a related party transaction under Article 34. Now come to Article 7, extraction business. A person shall be exempt from corporate tax, and the provision of this decree law shall not apply to its extraction business where all of the following conditions are met. A person shall be exempt from corporate tax, and the provisions of the decree law shall not apply to its extraction business where all the following conditions are met. All the conditions are met. All the conditions are met. All. A person directly or indirectly holds or has an interest in a concession or license issued by the local government to undertake its extraction business. In its extraction business, the person is effectively subject to the tax under the applicable legislation of the Emirates in accordance with the provisions of clause 6 of this article. Clause 6 of this article, clause 6 we will discuss later on. Okay, the person has made a notification to the ministry in the form and a manner agreed with the local government. They have to notify to the minister in the form and a manner agreed with the local government. If a person that meets the conditions of clause 1 of this article derives income from both an extracting business and any other business, there is a scope of this decree law, the following shall apply. He is doing extraction business and other business. Then this rule shall apply. The income derived from the extraction business shall be calculated and taxed according to the applicable legislations of the Emirates. The income derived from the other business shall be subject to the provision of decree law unless that the other business meets the condition to be exempt from the corporate tax under Article 8 of the decree law. Article 8 of this decree law, Article 8 talk about non-extraction business. If they specify non-extraction business. For the purpose of clause 2 of this article, a person shall not be considered to derive income from any other business where such other business is incidental to the person extraction business, and the revenue of such other business in a taxable period does not exceed 5%. of the total revenue of the person in the same period. 5% limit is there. For the purpose of calculating the taxable income of the person's other business, the following shall apply. The other business shall be treated as an independent business, and the financial statement shall be kept FS to be made business separately from the extraction business. Condition number 1. Any common expenditure shared between the extraction business and the other business of the person shall be apportioned in a proportion to their revenue in the tax period, unless such expenditure is taken into account in a different proportion. Different proportion also they can use for the purpose of calculating the tax payable by the person under the applicable legislation of the relevant emirates in respect of the extraction business, in which case the expenditure will be apportioned in the later proportion. Okay, first of all they should divide the common expenditure in the ratio of revenue or any other proportion if the local emirates they agree. The person shall calculate the taxable income for its other business independently for the each tax period in accordance with the provision of decree law. The transaction between the extraction business and the other business of the same person shall be considered related party transaction under Article 34, same thing, unless such other business is exempt corporate tax under Article 8 is non-extraction business. Non-extraction business. A person shall be considered effectively subject to the tax under the applicable legislation of the emirate for the purpose of this article if the local government imposes a tax on the income and profit, a royalty, revenue tax, or any other form of tax, charge, levy in respect of such person extraction business. Considered effectively subject to the tax under the applicable legislations. If the merits for the purpose of this article, if the government imposes a tax, if government is imposing a tax, then we will consider the person is taxable under the applicable legislations. Article clause 6 is saying we have mentioned clause 6 here is required. A person is effectively subject tax under the applicable legislation of the Emirates. One of the condition was there, exempt. If local government is putting tax, then we will consider it as they are subject to the tax. It is one of the condition. Point number 7, clause 7 of article 7. The exemption under this article shall not apply to the contractor, subcontractor, supplier, or any other person used or contemplated to be used in any part of the performance of the extraction business that does not in its own right meet the condition to be exempt. Article 8. Any contractors, subcontractors will not be considered here. Now comes to the Article 8 non-extraction natural resources business. Okay, it's a little big. A person shall be exempt from the corporate tax and the provision of this decree law shall not apply to its non-extraction natural resource business where all of the following conditions are met. How many conditions are there? There is 4 conditions. Person directly, indirectly holds or has an interest in a right, concession, or license issued by a local government to undertake its non-extraction natural resource business in the state. Okay, let's stop this video up to here. Okay, we will cover Article 8 onwards in later videos. Thank you.